President Nana Akufo-Addo has signed the newly constituted membership of the National Lands Commission to work hard to pursue government's target to register land titles within a month. When he inaugurated the Lands Commission Board, the President said government will provide the needed resources for the necessary institutional reforms for efficient land administration in the country. There have been various interventions by successive governments, yet most of the challenges in the country's land administration still persist. These include fraudulent sale of lands, poor record keeping, encroachment on public lands, delays in getting land titles, and fraudulent registration of land. It is not new that the same parcel of land could be registered in the name of different people at the Lands Commission, and in some instances, documents mysteriously get missing there. Another disturbing issue is conflicting judicial decisions on the same parcels of land. These are some of the many issues government is expecting the new Lands Commission Board to tackle without delay. With the coming into force of the new Land Act 2020, Act 1036, which calls for reforms by employing the use of digitalization, the government hopes to build effective land administration. President Akufo-Addo is concerned about delays in securing land titles.
I'm, however, encouraged to learn that the new Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the dynamic Samuel Abu-Jinapor, Member of Parliament for Damango, is engaging the Chief Justice on this matter, and I urge all of you to give him maximum support to help ensure that we find a lasting solution to the problem. We cannot continue with business as usual. We must pursue institutional reforms necessary to anchor efficient land administration. These must include reforms in personnel, processes, and the working culture of the Commission. Fortunately, the Lands Act 2020, Act 1036, which we worked so hard to pass last year, gives us a good foundation to achieving these reforms.
The chairman of the Lands Commission, Mr. Alex Nikweno, was optimistic that together with his team, the needed reforms would be embarked on to achieve the expected one land registration.
The objective of 30 days turnaround time for registration of title or deeds by the Lands Commission would be our target. To achieve this objective, the issues and concerns raised by His Excellency the President of the Republic in his address this evening would be dealt with.
The 25-member board is made up of representatives of professional bodies, regional lands commissions, ministries, agencies, the National House of Chiefs, and one government appointee. A process to harmonize the 4 divisions at the Lands Commission for efficiency, eliminate multiple human interfaces, and reduce quality time loss has begun. With this, a new system to aid the public in their land documentation and speed up land search processes has been introduced from Wednesday, September 1, 2021, and will be fully operational by October 1, 2021. This was made known to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapor, at a meeting with staff and management of the Commission.
We are focusing on the merger of the 4 divisions of the Lands Commission, and anything that we need to do, no stone will be left unturned in the effort to bring the 4 divisions together. And so what have we done? We have immediately put in place a new search system. And what it means is that searches, and under the Deputy Executive Secretary Operations, searches in the Lands Commission will no longer be done on divisional basis. That searches will be one Lands Commission search, and that is the way we are going to do it moving forward.
You cannot develop your country, you cannot get to the situation of prosperity and economic independence without a robust, effective, functioning land administration which is anchored on integrity. It's just as simple as that. So all the talk about Ghana Beyond Aid, they talk about agenda this, talk about prosperity for the Ghanaian people and building the national economy. It is simply not possible if investors come into the country and they cannot register title to land and have the assurance that land title is indivisible and indivisible indeed. If they cannot be certain that when they purchase land, they are not buying litigation. If citizens themselves are locked up in the court litigating over land, which is the number one tool or factor of production, if it becomes consumed with inefficiencies, litigation, fraud, and so on and so forth, we cannot make progress.
We're going up north. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi says the drainage system in the Tamale metropolis and the Sagnerugu municipality needs re-engineering to end perennial flooding of the regional capital.
So a 3-hour downpour in the northern regional capital on Monday. Some communities were affected by floods. The floods also damaged some roads in Tamale and exposed the poor drainage system in the fast-growing regional capital. The Roads and Highways Minister, Mr. Kwesi, who is on a 2-day tour of the northern and upper east regions to assess the extent of damage, expressed worry about the poor drainage system.
The impression I have, starting from Tamale internal roads, we have a big problem, and we have a big challenge. I think we have to look at the design of internal roads of Tamale differently, because I have realized that there are about 2 main storm drains, long ones running through Tamale, and Tamale Township has a problem. We have to look at it properly, redesign the internal roads, redirect the channels, build more drains to control particularly the rain waters.
Reports reaching GBC News indicates that the Wa-Nadoli-Laura-Hamle Road, which was temporarily reopened to traffic, has become inaccessible to motorists. This is as a result of torrential rains, which started early this morning in the Upper West region. Our regional correspondent Swala Abdul Wahab has been speaking with the drivers who ply the road and joins us now via phone from Wa. Good afternoon, Swala.
Hello, Valerie.
Swala, thank you for joining us. Swala, what can you tell us about the road? What's happening currently?
Yeah, you remember yesterday afternoon we reported about the expected opening of the Wa-Nadoli-Laura-Hamle Road, which was closed to traffic on the 12th of last month.
Right.
Last Friday, the portion between Wa and Nadoli, which was washed off, was temporarily fixed and open to the public. So the contractor, PW Ghanim, was able to send its equipment to the next portion, which is the Yiziri portion. And that portion is located between Nadoli and JUBILEE. So yesterday we were there to see how work progressed. And we picked up information that the road was going to be opened to traffic. Indeed, it was open to traffic in the evening, because I've spoken with some drivers who said they used the road to Laura. I also spoke with other private people who also used the road from Laura back to Wa. So it was a good news to people of the region that at least for now they will be able to travel on the highway from Wa to Laura and to Nadom without much difficulties. But information we have picked up this morning is that the road between Nadoli and JUBILEE has become inaccessible again because of the rain, which started around 4 in the morning.
Right.
And so it has become difficult for drivers to use. So they have to resort to the usual winding routes that they adopted when the problem occurred.
Right.
So that's the current situation now.
Okay, Swala, I believe you've interacted with some of the motorists and pedestrians. What are they saying? And have you spoken to any of the authorities?
Yes. In fact, the drivers are very, very sad that they are unable to use it. We specifically spoke to a particular driver who attempted using it, but when he got there, he could not. So he had to go back and use the alternative. And we also spoke to the chairman of the Hamlin number 3 station, Moses Donko, who briefed us on the current situation. Let's listen to what he told GBC News a while ago.
Sure.
This is one of our drivers. He's just from there. He just came now. He said he passed there and that place couldn't pass. So he passed through the, when you get to JUBILEE, he passed through Jirapa, then from Jirapa to Neduli, to Wahia. He couldn't pass through the Iziri road. He said when they come there, the place was very muddy. Because of that, no car can pass through that place. Yeah, it's because of the rain. No, as at now, no driver can pass there because about 2 cars came from Hamlin and London. But when they get to Iziri, they couldn't pass. So they turned their back to JUBILEE and then to Jirapa, to Nedoli, and then to Wahia.
Right, Swala, thank you for that report. That was our
before I hang on, Valerie.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because of the bad nature of the road, some of the drivers increased the load fare. And what they said earlier yesterday was that they were going to go back to their old fares. But now that the problem has come back, we don't know what is going to happen. So we'll let our viewers know as soon as possible the position of
how much you are going to charge in fares. Thank you, Swala, for that report. That was our correspondent, Swala Abdul Wahab, who came through with a report from the Upper West region about the road which has been closed again. Still staying on this matter, but this time we are going to the northeast region. Communities in that region have been cut off from the district and regional capital due to floods. Currently, officials from Zipline are in the area to assist affected communities in terms of healthcare. Samuel Ayama is with the team and joins us via phone to tell us more. Good afternoon, Samuel.
Good afternoon, Valerie.
Samuel, what's the situation now, especially regarding the communities that are being heavily affected by the floods?
Yeah, thank you very much. The situation here is very serious. About 17 communities in the Mamprugo Mwaduri district, popularly known as overseas, have been cut off as we speak. And then these communities include Prima, Sakpaba, Wiyima, So, Kuswabi, Licha, So, Namo, Kuchulim, Kubagna, Yak, Banamo, Bima, Jari, Kantin, Nanguruma, Santa, Sisi, and then Aba. And then when you move to the West Mamprusi municipality, that is Wale and its environs, about 7 communities have also been cut off from the district capital or the municipal capital. That is Deep Sea, Gubio, Bio, Zalari, Bua Kudo, Fio number 1, and then Fio number 2. All these communities, as we speak, they don't have access to the district health facilities, education, and other incentives.
Right, Samuel, we've seen in the videos that you sent, we've seen Zipline, we've seen their machines and equipment there. What exactly is Zipline doing to assist them in terms of healthcare?
Yeah, once we speak, these communities, they have been assisted or they have been supported over the years by Zipline because the road network in the Mamprogo Mwaduri district, that is popularly known as overseas, have been very bad. It's in a deplorable state, particularly the rains have also exposed the bad nature of roads in the area. So they have been supplying them with some medical consumables, and as we speak, the NADMO officials led by the Deputy Director General in charge of operations, Abu Ramadan, and some officials from the region and for that matter the headquarters visited the BOPSI, that is the Zipline Center near Wale Wale town,
Right.
and then they have also pledged their commitment. They said they are ready to continue supporting them with a lot of these medical consumables so that they will continue to also have access to quality healthcare. So for now, everything is on course in terms of provision of quality healthcare to these people who have currently been cut off from the district and for that matter, the regional capital.
Right.
Now, year ago.
Samuel, do we have an idea what exactly is in the care packages? Do you know?
For now, they don't have. They have what is going on is the sensitization, and then there is another situation they are finding difficult. NADMO officials are finding difficult to deal with. As you speak, when you move to Chirepone district, for instance, Gurim P 20-year-old Gurim Pim Iwak, and that of Baba Kumba, and then Magileba Baba. All these are three people. They tried crossing the river, and then they got down in that river. So it's like the residents, some of them are not ready to adhere to the advice or directive by the NADMO officials not to get closer to either streams or in an attempt salvaging their crops.
Right.
So this has been the issue here, and then some have also lost their lives through thunder strike at when you move to a place like Napanduri district. So it's a serious issue here, but not more. They are on the ground as we speak. They are moving to some dams to test their machines, that is the boats, to see how effective they are so that they can continue to help anybody who is trapped by the floods.
Samuel, we also understand that the Roads and Highway Minister is in the region. What has he been saying?
For now, the Roads and Highways Minister is currently in the Sandema area, that is the Bulsa North Municipality. And what he's doing there is to check the impact of the floods, because recently when the region recorded rainfall or heavy downpour for about 1 week, the whole of Sandema Township got flooded. And as we speak to most of the roads linking the Sandema Township, that is the municipal capital, the Bulsa North, have been washed away. Some, as we speak, have been awarded on contract, but they have not been worked on. So some of the communities in that area too have been cut off from the district capital. So the Roads and Highways Minister is visiting that area to have first-hand information about the situation on the ground and also see how to fix them.
Sure. As it stands, the spillage of the Bagre Dam is still pending. Have you any clue when this will come off, considering the level of flooding in that part of the region?
Yeah, as we speak, today the update or the information we are getting from the Bagre Dam, that is the managers of this dam, Sonabel, is that as we speak, the level of the water is 234.48 centimeters, and then so they will start the spilling, or they will open the valves when it is up to 234.75. So we are left with 22 centimeters for them to start the spilling of the excess water in the Bagre Dam. And then for now, looking at the situation, the rains we have started recording here in the region, when they open the valves or they start filling the Bagre Dam, I'm sure the devastation or the impact will be very serious. But NADMO is on the ground, and they have assured residents living along the White Water to move to high grounds, but they are also resourced in terms of relief items to respond effectively to any disaster that may occur as a result of the floods That's as a result of the spillage of the Bagre Dam and other of the torrential rains we are recording here in the
Right,
region.
Samuel. Thank you for those updates. That was our correspondent Samuel Ayama with those updates. Now, the people of the Bono region, a predominantly farming area, now have a reason to smile following the change in weather from the erratic rainfall pattern from March to June this year to a regular pattern. This, the people say, will enable them earn a living like before, since their farming activities will resume. Their hope is that the rains will last.
In recent years, experts have pointed to the pattern of irregular rainfall in the Bono Ahafo area as a manifestation of climate change. The main raining season was characterized by erratic and isolated rainfall, which had adverse effect on the first maize crop production. However, since August, the situation has changed, with the rains now falling regularly. Richard Efree, a farmer in Sunyane, couldn't be happier as he spoke with GBC News.
You're still watching News Up. It's been a rainy day in many parts of the country after days of torrential rain in the Upper East region flooded a lot of communities. The erratic weather pattern, largely attributed to climate change, disrupts activities and causes inconveniences as it makes it difficult for people to plan their movement during the day. We have been joined on phone by the head of the Central Analysis and Forecast Office of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Ms. Felicity Ahafianyo, to give us a detailed update on sudden change in the pattern of the weather. Good afternoon, Felicity.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the news. Felicity, it's been quite long since you gave us an update or the forecast of the weather. This morning's rain was quite unexpected, wasn't it?
Thank you so much for that concern. I've been moved from the Central Analysis Forecasting Unit to the Agro-Meteorological Unit, where we'll be doing the seasonal forecast and other things in line with the weather forecasting.
Right.
Yeah.
So this morning's rain, was it unexpected?
Yes, and this morning rains has not been unexpected. To some public, yes, they will say it's unexpected. But to us at the weather office, it's not unexpected. And those who follow our weather forecast, it's not unexpected to them. Because every day we give them updates 3 times in a day. And then in a week too, we give them 3 times in a week. So we give Monday, Wednesday, and then Fridays. And then every day we give morning, afternoon, and then evening. Then in between, when a storm of this nature is approaching, we also issue a warning. Yesterday,
right,
for instance, they issued about 2 warnings for this particular storm.
Right. There's been so much talk about climate change and how it has changed the weather culture throughout the world. Does it in any way make the weather reading difficult?
When it comes to weather forecasting, yes, we have some challenges. But GMET, thanks to our minister and government, we are trying, they have helped us a bit. Though we are still lacking, we still need a lot to improve upon our forecasting. I think if you ask across, we'll have a cross-section of Ghanaians that will agree with us that GMET nowadays, we are doing very well when it comes to the predictability of the weather that we have been experiencing.
Sure.
To talk about climate variation or climate change, yes, we have those things in place too. That is why we have the now forecasting unit established for us by the minister to the government and the management of GMET. So every day they run 24/7, so they always monitor. But there are some other things that we needed so that we'll be able to be more proactive than what we are now.
Right. Felicity, should we expect more rain?
Yes, currently, yes, climatologically, we are entering into the minor season for the southern sector. And our brethren over the north, they will also start reducing in terms of the rainfall intensity. All this thing is due to the positioning of the sun. This month, September, closely between 20th and 23rd, the sun will cross into the southern hemisphere. And if it happens like that, the weather will also move down. So as it's moving down, yes, we'll be getting more rains over places. But then the seasonal forecast desk is working on the seasonal forecast for September, October, November. Hopefully by tomorrow they will wrap up and then they will make it known to the public how it's going to be, the 2021, the minor season, how it's going to be. But based on climatology, yes, we were expecting rains over the southern sector and once in a while over the northern portion. Right, sure. Felicity, is there, earlier when we were speaking, you mentioned that you sent out notices. Is there a particular app or a website that the general public can go to or download on their phones to get regular updates from you? Yes, we have a website for the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and then we have where the WhatsApp platforms, we have various of them. So you can join us on the website, Ghana Meteorological Agency website, and then you get the details for the WhatsApp pages, and you'll be added. And then we have emails platforms too. We have SMS platforms too. For the app itself that we normally see on our phones, we are now developing it. So hopefully it will be ready and then it will be launched. But for now, it's not fully completed yet. So once it's done, we will launch it so everybody can go to Google app to download and install and then make use of it. But for now, we are using the WhatsApp, our website, and then email and then SMS. So anyone that wants to have the SMS, you go to the website, get our details, send us your numbers, you'll be added, and as we release, you also get it. And then the website, we normally upload the forecast the morning, afternoon, and the evening. Then we upload the weekly outlook too over there. Right, Felicity, before you leave us, what advice would you give to the traveling public and those of us who commute to and from work every day? Yes, based on the climatological data, September to November, we still expect rain over the entire country. So let's make it a point that we will get the forecast, if not on daily basis, let's try as much as possible on the weekly basis, Monday, where you know how the whole week will be like. I will commend Unique FM and GTV, you have been doing very well. So we'll plead that your viewers will take the forecast seriously and then work on it. And if we come to GMED, we also give area-specific forecast, so they can also request for that, and it will be given to them, and then they are good to go. So they should make it a point to listen to the forecast, and then once they hear a weather warning or there is a 60% chance of rain over your area, we plead that they should take it into consideration, get themselves ready. And then the last time I said, if you see the clouds that are gathering and it's becoming darker, the wind speed keeps increasing, then you are getting lightning, then you should know that it's a storm. Yes, it's something that they can also use to guide themselves, so that they, once they see that the clouds are gathering and they are changing color, and then the wind, so you know, at times some clouds will be dark, but you will not get any rain. We have different types of clouds, so they should check the winds and then check lightning, and then they can use it to conclude that yes, the clouds they are seeing, definitely it will do rain. Like what is happening right now, you're having a medium type cloud for we call it nimbostratus combined with the low clouds, so it always gives rain. So if you see your sky covered with clouds and it's dark, the sun is not able to penetrate, then you should expect slight to moderate rain. So anytime you wake up and it's like this, no rays of the sun, then you should know that definitely there will be slight rain or moderate rain in it. So they can also use that to equip themselves. Thank you, Felicity. That was Miss Felicity Ahiafianyo with the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and then she says that while the app is being developed, well, it's in process, but until it is finished, you can log on to the Ghana Meteorological Agency's website. You can feed them your number, and then they can be giving you regular updates in your area from your weather. Now, a delegation from the Union of Journalists for
African Free Press from Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire has called on Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC. The team was in the company of leadership of the Ghana Journalists Association GJA. Their visit was to make known their plans to relocate the headquarters of the union from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana.
The 5-member delegation had the President and Secretary of the Union of Journalists for African Free Press, the officer in charge of communication and privileges at the Embassy of La Cote d'Ivoire, and led by the President and National Organizer of the Ghana Journalists Association, GJA. Their mission in the country is to relocate the headquarters of the union from La Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana. The Director General of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, gave a briefing about the corporation. He said GBC is proudly a state broadcaster without any interference from government.
Nobody tells us what to cover. Ghana first. We all believe in it. We welcome you to Ghana, and you can be assured that we'll provide you all the necessary courtesies you need. The other request about the nomination to the panel on the prize, Patrice Lumumba Prize, I'm very much aware of it. And I think that we'll consult amongst ourselves, and very soon the GJA will communicate this to you.
The GJA's president, Mr. Afamoni, was full of praise at the ongoing rebranding at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and also congratulated the Director General, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, on his award as the People's Focused CEO of the Year. The delegation from Cameroon and La Cote d'Ivoire said GBC has carved a positive image for itself within Africa and beyond. They praised Ghana for being a beacon of freedom in Africa, hence their intention.
Ghana Journalists Association, the government of Ghana have understood our request, and I thank them for this understanding, for the willingness to accompany our body to develop and settle in Accra. For us, it's a great symbol being in Accra, city of freedom.
The delegation was hopeful that their mission to relocate the headquarters of the union will facilitate its progress. Rachel Cote, GBC News, Accra.
Highway robbery is becoming rampant in the country. Despite security patrols, this has heightened fears among the traveling public. Crimes such as highway robberies, murders and contract killings are linked to proliferation of firearms. As such crimes appear to be getting out of hand, many are concerned about whether the country's security apparatus is overwhelmed. Joining us via phone is Mr. Adib Sani, a security analyst, to share his perspective on the situation. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, welcome to GBC News. The rate of crimes being recorded in the country is becoming quite alarming. Can you give us your general view of this development?
Well, obviously, I mean, this rate has been the status quo for some time now. In 2017, for example, the murder rate was about 609. But my biggest concern is not with the frequency, but it's with the quality of crime these days. I mean, the criminals have become so audacious, they've become so vicious in the manner that they are able to stage broad daylight attacks. I mean, you and I should be fully aware of the fact that in the past, robberies was a nightly activity, but these days, the criminals are able to hit at innocent victims during the day, and are also able to stage attacks against hard targets like the police. I mean, you and I know full well that a bullion van with money moves with a fully armed police officer, yet they are able to
staged attacks against police personnel. 2 years ago, there was a similar attack on the Kwabenya police station in which an inspector was killed. Yeah. Some weapons are stolen, of course. They had their comrades released. Just in front of the Las Palmas restaurant at La Paz, we had an officer also killed by these armed bandits. So it is becoming a worry. I've personally spoken with a number of officers who feel that they are handicapped, they are not even given the appropriate training. I've also spoken with a number of business owners who contend that even in the thick of the day, they are scared, you know, of robbers, because some of them have their businesses driven by cash. So if they are not able to keep enough cash on them, in the fear that robbers can hit at any time, then obviously it is affecting the local economy as well. And the Alaba case is one example. When in broad daylight in the middle of the market, we had motor riding, gun wielding, you know, bandits firing, and nobody could do anything about it. So obviously what is happening in the country is a major cause of concern for especially those of us within the security space.
Right. Mr. Sani, what could be the possible cause of this trend?
Well, I personally have spoken with a number of personnel with the CID, and they contend that most of the investigation processes is manual in nature. And so what in essence this means is the probability of getting caught when you perpetrate a crime is quite low. As a result, a lot more of these criminals feel that they can perpetrate their crime and be left off the hook. So there's high motivation. The reward regime with perpetrating a crime is high. And in criminology, we have what we call rational choice theory. Before you perpetrate a crime, you're able to juxtapose between the risk and the reward. So if you feel that if I perpetrate this crime, if I take this money, they will not catch me. Obviously, you'll be incentivized into taking the money in the first place. So we are able to improve on the investigation regime by investing in 21st century technology, forensic science, the use of biometric databases, the use of DNA databases, training officers to be very much abreast of current trends so far as countering crime is concerned. And I must say, you cannot use a 20th century approach to fighting a 21st century crime. Secondly, there's low confidence in especially the police by the civilians. Just recently, a friend of mine was a victim of a robbery. He never reported to the police. I asked why. He asked me to what end. There's no motivation to report to the police. A lot of people have decided to, by hook or crook means, acquire weapons to defend themselves because they feel that even if the police cannot defend themselves, how much less them, you know? And it's a big issue. We also have Ghanaians not motivated to give important information to the police to help them make sense of the myriad of cases before them because of the lack of a robust witness protection regime. If I give out information and the next minute my identity is blown, my cover is blown, and the whole community knows that I gave out the information, that would endanger myself and my family, and no one would come to my aid. So I think there's a need to relook at the witness protection regime. Let's develop a witness protection policy that would cater for the security and well-being of people who give out important information to the police. And lastly, the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, even though the reference point has always been the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center baseline survey in 2014, that contended that there were well over 2 million illegal guns in the system. The figure, I'm sure, might have grown today because recently I had a conversation with someone working for an international body that is gathering data. And according to him, the data they gathered at the point they thought, no, it's a lie, it cannot be true. So they did it over and over again, and truly the figure they got of over 5 million in the country is true, and that is worrying.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sani. Before you go, do you have any security tips for the general public, how we should keep safe in our cars, in our homes, and when we are walking?
Well, I would wish to appeal to Ghanaians to invest in security. if you build your house, install CCTV cameras, install electric fencing systems. Don't wait for the crime to happen before you start looking for solutions. Unfortunately, a lot of us seem to be firefighters, you know. Apart from that, we should just follow some simple protocols. We should avoid leaving the home with our keys under the doormat, in the flower pot on top of the door, because these criminals know. And we should also be very conscious of what we share or click on social media. These days, you see, click, Malcolm is celebrating 20th anniversary, so click for free gift. No, they don't do things that way. You know, click here. Just today, someone forwarded a link to me. Click here for free 45 gig of data. So please, let us think before we click, and let us be mindful of the information we give on social media, because the more information we give, the more information we make available to these criminals, and they can use it to develop what we call profiles of us, and that can endanger ourselves and our families.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sani, for those updates. We've been speaking to Mr. Adib Sani, a security analyst, and he's been telling us how to keep safe and also what to do to keep ourselves safe. We'll take a break. You're still watching News Hour. Dorothy Ajimang is standing by to bring us the latest updates in business.
2006.